Hi everyone, my name's Daisy and this is my 13-year-old Cocker Spaniel, Tyra. And I'm gonna do a quick short tutorial on how to groom the Cocker safely. There's a lot of talk about no groomers being open, so if you're gonna do it at home, I wanted to give you guys a brief on how to do it. So I'm gonna use a number 10 blade. Some of you have the 5-in-1 adjustable blade, which is fine too. The number 10 is about as short as you would ever want to do the back of a Cocker Spaniel. I want to do it on her because being a groomer, although I groom dogs all the time, I obviously don't groom my own dog as often as I'd like to. So I'm going to get started with doing the pattern on the Cocker Spaniel. I shaved her face earlier today because she just couldn't see, the poor thing. So, all right, well, I'm going to get started. So I turn on the clipper and you start from the base of the neck, kind of where the shoulder blade is, and then I follow the hair pattern of the dog. So if the hair grows this way, that's the way I'm shaving, not against the grain. Okay, so here goes. I put the clipper down and I keep it flush up against the dog's body. And I do a pretty good follow through. I don't pick at the hair. I just set it down and just let it go. Again, I'm following the pattern of the hair in which it grows. So it is on the back and then down the hip. So with Cocker patterns, you want the line, so where the dog's little nub is, right here, you want it to be like right underneath the tail. And this line's gonna follow all the way through up until the breastbone, which is right here on the chest. So we're gonna clip this hair off, and I'm not putting too much pressure, but I'm letting the weight of the clippers do its job. I'm making sure that she's standing still, even though she's a little itchy. So I just follow the line. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're just taking the bulk of the hair off right now. And when you get to where the skirt is, you want to lift off with your clippers in like a scooping motion so that that line isn't so severe where the skirt is, so it blends in a little. She's got a lot of dry skin going on right here. She hasn't gotten a bath yet. Cocker's hair are very dense, as you know, so I just wanted to get the majority of the hair off before I wash and dry her. Okay, so now I move to the front and I move her ears out of the way and put her head up. Cockers have a lot of skin folds in the neck. It's hard to tell on the black ones, but has a lot of skin folds. So it's very important that when you're lifting your dog's head up, that you're stretching the skin very tightly so that there are no folds. Because if you shave down the neck and there's a fold and the blade is either too big or too dull, it will snag and you can rip the skin, which is awful. So anyway, you lift the ear out of the way, and as you're lifting, it's pulling the skin tightly. Turn on your clippers and you're going to shave down from right behind the ear down the shoulder blade. And as we're coming around the neck, we're going to stretch. I'm stretching with this hand and stretching the neck skin out right to where the dog's breastbone is, right here. And I'm going to follow through to the other side. Shaving the back of the neck. You don't have to have your dog on a grooming table, but if you do have your dog up higher, like on a kitchen table or something like that, and someone is holding the dog's head, it makes it a lot easier for the person who's cutting the hair, and also puts the dog in less control, and they will mind a little better, I've noticed. So I'm gonna just zip the other side. Since you can't see it, I'm just gonna do it real quick. And I have my hand on this side, and I'm pulling this hair down, just so the hair isn't moving back and forth like this. I'm making it, the skin tight so that my clippers will grab onto the hair. Oh gosh, you're so itchy. So itchy. Okay. So now we have the top of the dog's cocker cut here with a number 10. We haven't blended it in or anything yet, so it doesn't look awesome, but that's the basis of what you're doing. When you do the cocker face, see, I already shaved her face. It was a lot more fuzzy, so I'm going to demonstrate without the clippers on so you can see what I did. So I like to move the ears out of the way, and I take my clippers and I turn them on. And with the clippers, the back part of the clipper facing her eye, I scoop out the eye corner. Oh, sorry. Okay. I scoop out the eye corner. It's hard to see. Let me lower the table. Okay. Well, I will scoop out the eye corner this direction, and like this from this direction, and then against the grain of the hair, I will start right where the end of her muzzle is, and I'll shave towards her nose, and again on the other side towards her nose. Come here, honey. When you get down under here, you want to make sure that you're making it tight again, because there's a lot of folds and you don't want to cut the dog. So I'll put her ear back, and I'll grab the corner of her little cheeks, and I'll pull the hair, or I pull her skin back. I'm not pulling it hard, I'm just making it a smooth surface. I'll turn the clippers on, and then from the right here of her, where her mouth is, I'll take the clippers and I'll shave towards me again in this direction. And again on the other side, I'll pull the skin back and then shave from the corner of the mouth to the nose again. And boop, just like that, to get this nice clean face. Okay, so now that the clean face is done, we're gonna do the top of her head. So, well, some people like to shave the head totally clean. Some people like to leave a crest. I like to leave a crest because just without it, her eyes look bulgy. So I like to have a little something so she doesn't look so bulgy. Okay, so I'll show you the head now. See, I turn on the clippers. Okay, not yet, sorry. So from the eye corner, if you're doing a crest, from the eye corner to the edge of the ear is where you're going to shave on either side. From there, back, 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 back. If you're not, you just shave it all off. So we're doing a crest, so I'll show you how it's done. So from the edge of the eye corner to the edge of the ear, with the clippers going away from me, I'll clip the edge of the ear, or the eye corner to the ear, and shave it back. And then go all the way onto the top of the head to the other side. So it looks like there's a half moon on top of your cocker's forehead. Like really big bangs. Alright. So I'll just go back with my clippers and just clean it up. Alright. So now that the crest is done, we'll shave the ears. And it's so important for ear health for Cocker Spaniels because their ears are so heavy and they get yeast infections and all sorts of stuff. She's 13 each. She's had it all. So I'll show you with the ear. The safest way to do an ear is to hold the ear in your hand flat like this. So you unfold all the little folds and hold it flat in your ear, or in your hand. And then you take the clippers and then you shave 1/3 of the way down the length of your dog's ear. All the way around. Lift up the ear and behind the ear. In the front of the ear. The whole time you're making sure you have a flat surface to work with. If the skin is folded on itself, you're more likely to cut the dog. So please make sure you're always cutting flat surfaces. Lift up the inner ear and shave the hairs that are on the inside there. Okay, now this cocker ear is done. Now it's time for the other one. So flat hand right underneath. And then shave the hair towards you. 1/3 of the ear hair you take down. Flip it over. Make sure it's a flat surface that you're cutting. Don't take the clippers down the edge of the ear, the edge right here. You'll use scissors for that. It's detail work. So shave that off. Okay, so now her cocker dome or her cocker crest is done. Her ears are shaved 1/3 of the way down. So now our pre-shaving stuff is done with the dog. Any matting that your dog has, please use clippers. Don't use scissors. Please don't use scissors because you're more likely to cut the dog if you have scissors. So if you have any shears at home, I have these shears. They're curved shears. I'm going to do the top of her head, the crest. So I take the comb and I comb it all forward. Yep. And then I'll take the shears and I'll go rest the shears right on top of her nose like this. And I'll snip the hair right off just so she can see. And then I'll snip right around the front of her eyes. Again, with this all brushed forward, so brush it all forward first and cut the hair off in front of the eyes. Now take your comb and brush the cocker dome back. And now you can see her face a lot better. I'll take my thinners or chunkers or blenders. There are different types of shears that help blend the hair. For right now, I'm going to use the one with more teeth. That means it does more blending instead of taking chunks out. So I'm going to hold her muzzle and I'm going to cut the hairs that's on top of her head to blend it in with that number 10 that we shaved on top of her head. The nice thing about chunkers is that it doesn't really, or blenders, is that it doesn't really matter in which direction that you're cutting the hair. Because it's not taking one huge chunk out of the hair, it's taking like a perforated chunk of hair out. It's less likely you're going to have a really choppy looking end product. So anyway. All right, so now her cocker dome is cut back. Like I said, there are these hairs that are at the edge of her ears that you don't want to shave down, because if it gets caught in between the blade, it can rip the ear. So you take your scissors, whether they're curved or they're straight, and you pull all the hair away from the leather, and then going with the grain of the hair. So when you have straights, you never cut against the hair, you always cut with the grain of the hair. You're going to gently snip off those little edges on either side, just so you have a more finished look. All right, So now the pre-shaving is done on the dog. Now I'm gonna give her a bath and dry her, and we'll be back.